So in other words, is meditation is not about learning the technique. It is about copying the energy of love, peace, and tranquility that somebody has already learned through their own practice. So it depends on the consciousness level of the teacher who created the apps, who created the YouTube video. It's affect your psyche.
Welcome to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your host, Jen Trepic, talking wellness and weight loss for real life. We're here to clear up the myths, misinformation, bad science, and marketing to teach you how to eat and how to cheat. Are you ready? I'm having salad with a side of fries. Hi, friends. I am super excited for today's interview. So, as many of you know, slowing down is not my jam, right? Yeah. It's hard for me to not multitask. I'm best when I have a full schedule, and I prefer the workout that distracts me from everything so I can't think about anything else, as opposed to the one that wants me to slow down and think about nothing. And, you guys know this about me. So I know many of you are like me too. And I have to tell you, I've met my match. And you are all going to meet her today. So Nandar Matari is a meditation coach and trainer. Since 1993, she's been learning and practicing the ancient methods of mindfulness and meditations from Buddhist monks and masters. To me, what's most interesting, though, is that Nandar has had a varied career, right? Working as an English teacher, a financial consultant, in sales, and in recruiting. So, and all over the world, I might add. So she gets me, right? And many of you. And like a lot of us, in spite of her great professional successes, she didn't feel fulfilled and decided to follow her passion of teaching meditation. So since 2014, Nandar has created different forms of guided meditations based on her own daily practice and diverse experiences from the last 26 years of meditating. And the result of that is really transforming people's lives for better mental health and improved productivity. Right? So yes. I'm honored to have you here. Welcome, Nandar.
Thank you so much, Jen, having me today.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Happy to have you. So share with everybody, your background, how you started meditating. Mm-hmm. I know it was in your early teens.
Yes.
And how this came into your life at that time, too.
Yes, I was born and grown up in Myanmar or Burma. It is a Southeast Asian country, and I am eldest daughter in my family. So my mother is very competitive. She wanted me to write the straight A all the time. So I have this anxiety to perform all the time, and it also made me who I am today. But it was back then I have full of fears and anxiety, and I was looking for methods or the way to release that tension in my heart. So I started hearing about meditation from my physics teacher when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
And then she told me that meditation really can help you to calm your mind and to also cleanse your karma. So I believe in karma. Karma is something and that we have done in the past. And so with that action, we also have this reaction or the result in this lifetime. So I feel that I have done maybe a lot of bad deeds in the past. That's why I have a lot of worries and anxiety. And so I would like to cleanse my karma through meditation. That is why after my high school, when I was 16 years old, I went to the monastery and meditate in the monastery for 27 days because I just would like to cleanse my karma, to calm myself down and find this peaceful feeling in my heart. So that is my beginning.
And was your mom, given that your mom was pushing this go, 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 was she receptive to spending 27 days in the monastery? How did that all kind of fit together?
Sure. Because she also told me that after my high school, so I could do everything I want. And so that was her promise, and she also kept it. And at that time of 27 days, I finished with all of my high school times, and it's also my summer holiday. So I had this opportunity to start meditating as long as I wanted.
And for you, how did meditation impact your work, when you were a teacher and a financial consultant mm-hmm. and sales? And how did meditation influence you in your professional life? Because I think a lot of our audience, we're all doers.
Yes.
Right. And so I'm curious for you, because you are too, and I
Yes.
know that.
I am.
So how did it fit together, and how did the meditation impact the work?
Yeah, I understand. So that is a good question, because meditation, a lot of people also think that when you meditate, you don't have to think anymore and just have to stop your mind. The thing is that it does not happen to me till now. So
Right.
even the enlightened person also think. So meditation is about managing and controlling our emotions and feelings. And of course, the thoughts too. By observing our thoughts, feelings, and emotion, we comes to understand ourselves in a very deeper and profound way. So through meditation, I found my confidence in myself, and I also understand my cause of anxiety, where it all come from. So by understanding the cause, I can let go of the cause of anxiety, and I become calmer and more peaceful and more confident. So with that, basic mindset of confidence, I add everything out of belief and trust. So with that, I can also have more success in being an English teacher. At that time, I was an English teacher since I was like 22 in a big classes in front of people. I do not have stage fright. I think sometimes I do. Most of the time I don't, because I know how to control my emotion. So if I have to, conclude it in a very short way, meditating really make me more conscious in whatever I do. And I become more productive because I am very focused, laser focused on everything I do. And I can react many things very quickly too. So with that, I learn different languages very quickly, and I can get adapted to the new situations and new country. And so I was living in Bangkok before, in Germany, in Frankfurt, and also Switzerland. So I like, being in different places, and I can also get adapted to it very quickly. It is because of my conscious mind is getting focused and at the same time relaxed.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. So
Thank you.
And for you to shift from this more traditional career, so to speak, to focusing on meditation and teaching meditation, what was like the aha moment or the straw that broke the camel's back that said, I need to exit what my career looks like up to this point and focus on, changing people's lives through meditation?
That is a good question. I was a financial consultant back then in Germany. So I went to Germany in 2005, and I met with that company in 2007. And I was spiritual, and I am still spiritual, and from the very beginning. So I keep on studying a lot of stuff like past life regressions, energy healing, you name it. And my spirituality also become more and more developed and understand things and metaphysics and how it is interrelated to people. So from the very beginning, I'm the one who would like to share my knowledge. And so when I was English teacher, I was very motivated to learn English, and I share my knowledge to other people. So when I become an sales manager and team leader in Germany, so I started sharing those knowledge, how you can calm down yourself first before you are making a call to the clients, or how you have to find confidence in yourself and in your products so that you can really also convince other people to sell the products. So I was started teaching those principles of this mindfulness and meditation also even since 2010 when I become a team leader in Germany. So it is a kind of bit of shift and integrating. And in like 2012, when I have achieved my peak of my career, become the best team leader of the year 2011 in Germany, and after like in 2012 I become a sales manager. So I feel like, okay, what next? It is something like some shift happening in me. So I'm just going from one goal after another, and I feel never fulfilled. I thought that, okay, that is everything that I ever wanted to be successful in career. Then I thought that I'll be yoo-hoo, and
I think we all have that, right?
Yeah.
Like we're on this, I sort of sometimes feel like it's like the treadmill, like you're going and you hit the next milestone and you just keep going. And then you're sort of like, wait, when's that? aren't I supposed to be somewhere?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. So I mean, it's a kind of like maybe I was 35 and I was not unhappy with a long-term relationship. I'm thinking whether I'll be taking the next step of marrying him or what should I do. And I decided the other way around and I left him. And I felt that I was not successful. I was successful, but I was not fulfilled. And then I left the relationship afterwards. The career also go downwards. And I said that I'll figure it out. I was in recruiting for a while, and then later on I comes to understand that I've been on that path for long, and I'm also teaching that already. And why not choosing the one that that already make me happy? That is why I decided to do it in 2014 March, and I'm getting growing and I'm happy.
Amazing, right? Being happy in your career, and
it is.
That's awesome. So diving into meditation, and I almost say it like reluctantly because I think when people hear the word meditate, right, the image that comes to mind is like the yogi sitting on the floor with their legs crossed and chanting om, and I think sometimes that's what comes to mind, and that's where we get stuck because we have this picture of what we think it looks like. So my first question to you is like, what do you think are the biggest misconceptions about meditation that people have?
The biggest misconception or the people have it when you meditate, you have to let go of everything and,
like I said to you.
Yeah, just become a yogi and, just have to sit down and stop your mind and do nothing. It is not that. So it is also very difficult to do for most of the people. But meditation is about practicing your consciousness and to be more aware of what is good for you in the current moment. Because a lot of people are drinking alcohol or taking a lot of sugar in your body even because we are not conscious of which is good for us. So when we meditate, we become more aware of what is good for us, for our physical body, for our emotional body, and also mental. So we started doing the things which is good for us, and we also letting go of the relationship which is not good for us. And we also change our habit eventually. And so that is more of the consciousness exercise, I would say. So when you I also teaching people 10 to 15 minutes guided meditations. And with that, the people are knowing then which is good for them, and they also become more and more motivated. Oh, I'm now knowing the things which I do not yet know before. Now I'm now having more happiness in my life. And you also met one of my students, so he was very happy, walking with me like 1.5 years. And you say that, oh, William is so happy. Also, I'm talking his name now. And what's wrong
He'll be okay
with him,
that.
right?
Yeah.
What is wrong with that? But the thing is that he become more and more aware of the thing that he's been aware before, and he has become freer than ever and more successful in his job too.
It's amazing. So given how you define meditation, right, as what were your words, sort of experiencing our consciousness, right, becoming aware of our consciousness, what does that look like, or what can it look like different from the yogi sitting on the floor chanting om? Like, just to kind of clear that up and give people, I think, a different image of meditation. So what does it look like for you and your clients in practice?
So in a way, when we are focusing on our breath or for our emotion and doing that 10 to 15 minutes every day, so if the people do it every day and our consciousness become extended or expanded. And it's mean in the first stage, the people are getting more aware of when they are become anxious. They come to know, I'm now getting anxious, and they go directly to the breath. And they know how to control their anxiousness and anxiety in the daily life. It is the first stage where the people happen. And because they also know that when, what make me anxious, they also come to realize those. And then the next step, when they keep on doing it, they're letting go of the negative thoughts pattern, which is not good for them, which hurt them or which hurt other people, or just letting go of them. That is the second stage, what happened to other people. Then afterwards, the people find it their self-love. Then I say the fifth stage. The third stage is they found their self-love. They know that, okay, I'm not that bad as I always think I am myself, right? And the thoughts pattern, they also understand that, okay, these thoughts are not good for me, and they're letting go of the thoughts pattern, and they find the self-love out of it. And this all happen by observing the breath, and we observing the body and also emotion, because we also have that kind of intelligence or wisdom inside of us. It is the innate intelligence. We are born with that. When we are focusing on that, this intelligence or wisdom become get grow by itself. And then with that, we also more and more aware of our feelings and emotion. So the first stage is they know the daily life when they get when they have anxiety, and they can reduce that. And the second part is they are letting go of the negative emotions. And the third stage is they find their self-love. And the fourth stage is very interesting. So it takes some time, but the people are knowing that what is the truth about them, what is important for them, and what is given by the society or the parents. And they can really see the difference between the society beliefs and their own needs. So with that, they can really decide for what is good for them. So in that stage is, I want to give one example of the young man who got a suicide attempt for 2 years ago. I got a chance to coach him. So after like 2 months, he came out of the room because he knows that, okay, he was depressed all the time. Now he letting go of his past. And the third, and after 3 months, he comes to understand that what is good for him. And what make him happy is he want to become a pilot. But his expectation about is he thought that his parents wanted him to become an engineer. Then he comes to know that, oh, actually, I would like to become a pilot, but not the engineer. So this is the fourth stage. He reached in a very short time. And then after the fifth stage is we can let go of this society belief and image, and we have our own inner freedom is the fifth stage. So to make the long story short, it is a daily practice.
Right.
What make the difference, of course. So it does not happen day in and day out, or short right away. But by meditating that consequently every day, the people can really expand their consciousness, and we can also achieve a lot of stuff.
It's amazing. And you mentioned this young boy who is suffering from depression, and what else might someone be experiencing that's sort of the red flag of like, hey, buddy, you might need this, or like what might be going on that would allow me to say I should meditate? Like for people to take a minute and be like, you know what, this is me.
Yeah.
Right.
So, in the reality is meditation is like taking exercise for our body. So we take exercise for our body, physical exercise. So it is for the mental exercise is meditation. So if you would like to have a strong mind, you should meditate. If you would like to have a strong body, you should exercise. So it also depends on the choice, In life I would say everybody should meditate, I would say. But at the same time, not everybody is ready to meditate. But if I have to be very short and answer, if you would like to have the most out of your life, and if you would like to have emotional intelligence and mental intelligence, and if you would like to live your life fullest, you should meditate.
So is that, when someone comes to you, like what's their chief complaint or the most prominent sort of complaint when people come to you? Is it this, I'm not getting what I need, or I'm not fulfilled, similar to what you were feeling, or what's the biggest thing that people say to you when they first come to you?
So most of the people who came to me are different, but for mostly are that they are very stressed out and they do not know how to control their mind, and they are overwhelmed and so on. Most of the people who came to me are very ambitious professionals, and they would like to achieve more in their life, and they also heard about good things about meditation, and they would like to implement that methods in their life. So that is why the people who came to me they want to reduce their stress, and they want to achieve more in their life. Most of these tendons, the people are coming. Some people who are coming to me they have some other form of burnout or depression, and they want to know that why am I having all of those, and they wanted to figure it out. And they have a spiritual quest or emotional quest about exploring themselves. So there's generally, I have this 2 type.
Yeah, and we've talked through kind of the benefits, right? The 5 steps. And it was interesting as you were going through that, it's similar to the progression that I go through with a lot of my clients around food, right? And the choices that we make around food. And I thought that parallel was fascinating. And it is, right? A lot of times we're turning to the food or this, these emotional things and learning to sort of master the thoughts is on some level a solution to all of the ways that this can manifest.
Yes, it
right?
is. Yeah.
So, depending on what people have going on, they might need different types of meditation, right? So how do you determine the right guided meditation for each person? And do you recommend that somebody do the same meditation every day or change it up? Like, how does that work?
There are many different types of meditation. For example, like yoga is the actually body meditation. A lot of people like doing it and they do it every morning. So some people are very committed to it and they do it like 20 minutes or 30 minutes every morning. So it is for them very good. They have found their own meditation. And there are like mental mind meditation, like transcendental meditation, also very popular through the media, and they talk, make a celebrity, promotion.
So when I think I must have been 6 years old.
Yeah.
My dad took my sister and I to learn transcendental meditation.
Yes.
And it was like they gave us a word and this woman, quote unquote, taught us how to meditate. And my understanding of it in my 6-year-old brain was that I was supposed to sit there, close my eyes and think this word like over and over and over.
Yeah.
And I remember her saying, like, don't tell anybody your word. And then of course the first thing we did, my sister and I like told each other our words, right? And we had the same one and we were like, oh, But so is it the same? Is that?
Yeah. It also is the same, like, you have to give 1,500 for having that mantra. And they also good, it is a kind of like our mind is always wandering around, and when we focus on one word, so it's calm down our mind. They call it transcendental meditation, but I would say the mind meditation because it's concentrate only on the mind. And
got it.
Yeah, there are some type of meditation like they concentrate on their emotion or prana. They breathe into the emotion and breathe out, and there are many different types. So the type of meditation that I teach is the combination of all. I let them people feel the body, and because I learned the techniques of body scanning and also feeling the sensation from the Buddhist monk. We call it vipassana. Vipassana is the art of living. How we live with our body, how we live with our emotions, and how we live with our thoughts. So my approach is more of a
it's
holistic
everything.
approach.
It's comprehensive.
Yeah, it's comprehensive. And so combination of it, sometimes this methods is difficult to pin down where my emotion coming from, right? The people have only 10 minutes. When they are looking for the emotion, they don't really find it. So that is why I combined the Vipassana meditation that I taught, that I learned from the Buddhist monks, combining with the neuro-linguistic programming technique. Neuro-linguistic programming technique is about feelings and visualizations, and also about, saying words. So it's make people easier to learn the techniques of Vipassana than I teach them in the approach of neuro-linguistic programming technique. That is why my meditation that I created is 10 to 15 minutes, but I created on my own because I know that it's NLP for a long time, and I know that it's make the changes of personality very quickly. At the same time, I understand this mind, body, and spirit holistic approach from the Buddhist monk, and I combined these two, and I created for different people, different meditations.
Amazing. So how long does someone need, you mentioned 10 to 15 minutes, right? So how long does someone need to meditate to experience the benefits? Not, both how long in each session and how long, like consecutive days, months, weeks, year, how long does it take to progress? And I'm sure it depends on, each person's different, but through the 5 stages and all, like, what does it take to do that?
It is a good question. So as you also mentioned, everybody is different, but mostly it's if the people meditate 10 to 15 minutes, they become more and more aware. Like they see the changes, the first changes, they saw it. I mean, in my cases, the people see the difference and feel it right away after the first meditation with me. They feel the releasing of their senses. They release the emotions a lot from their body. They feel it right away. But the first changes and consequence happen after 8 weeks, because there is also scientific proof that our brain, the form changes after 8 consecutive a week of meditation. The prefrontal cortex, the front part of the brain, become larger. And it's make the connection between the all the brain wave stronger. And at the same time, the amygdala brain, or the small brain where our emotions are controlled, it's become smaller. So the people have a less, anxiety and worries, and they have more confidence. They see the difference like 8 weeks.
Amazing.
And so 2 months.
And guys, the prefrontal cortex, I don't know. There's a book, for the life of me, I cannot remember what it's called, but it's basically about you have 5 seconds to like get into action when you think about something. And so, you think about doing something, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. And that's what activates the prefrontal cortex.
Yes.
So it's fascinating to me that meditation can do the same thing, right? We can grow the prefrontal cortex and shrink, the amygdala, which is, all of the emotions.
Small
So,
brain,
right. So it's like, it shifts where our decision making comes from.
Yes.
From the emotional to the logical.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for the emotional part is always, when we are living in the Stone Age, fight or flight, we always stay there. So whenever we are having the new information, instead of that we are, calming ourselves down and thinking logically, we started reacting to it. So when this part of the brain becomes smaller, it is also the time that young guy coming out of the cave, he was sitting in this room for a long time, that after 8 weeks, the people become calmer, and they say that, okay, right now, they are also more confidence and with themselves. But the thing is, this thing, when they go the brain wave, it's interesting is, it's all what I'm talking about is, they have made scientific research by the Harvard University and American Medical Association. I didn't talk it from my own experience, right? And but it also showed that my own clients, so in like 8 weeks, they make the difference. But I always say that, at least I encourage people to do that 90 days, because I do not really want them to have this full cycle of meditation. But after like 3 months or so, some people take it even 6 months every week meditating with me, they have already got the basic of meditation, and they can go it in their own rhythm. They can book me like as they need it, or they can book me like every other week. Some people know that talking with me and meditating with me bring a lot of consciousness for them. So there are many people who work with me like 4 years, 5 years already, but they don't come with every week, but they come up like after 1 month or something like that. So
but you recommend that people meditate daily.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So even if they're working with you once a week, they're still doing, an independent meditation.
Yes.
All the other days. And there's I've heard a lot of different philosophies around it. But do you recommend, beginning of the day, end of the day? Some people say, start your day with the meditation and set the tone. And some people say, use it to calm down at night and let go of the day. Like, what do you suggest?
Yes. I will start with the duration, why I give 15 minutes. And transcendental meditation, they say that like 20 minutes. And so 20 minutes is the time what we make our one full cycle of brainwave. So when we are coming down, and in the 20 minutes, we make the full brain cycle. So it is 20 minutes is the, the biggest one, good one. But I say 10 to 15 minutes is also enough, because we have cover the half of it, and the brainwave make automatically that round by itself. So
it'll complete the second half by itself if you do the first part.
Then that's why I recommended it. I trained affectionately, smarter, not harder. Somebody told that. So I train, let them train very smart. And if we started doing that the first part of the day, or as soon as we wake up, so it is also set the tone of the day for sure. So I recommend it to do it right after the wake up. And the second thing is about, there are a book from Stephen R. Covey. He talk about 7 habits of fully effective people. So these people, if you would like to be effective and more successful in life, you have to invest the first 1 hour. They call it golden hour. You have to do the things which is not urgent but important in your life. So meditation is not urgent. So if you do not meditate, you will be keep on earning money, and you will be keep on living, but it is good for the long term. So that is why I let the people meditate in the first hour of their day. So it will really help them. So of course, if they cannot meditate, they can meditate in the evening before they fall asleep. Or I won't suggest actually they should come back home before they are going to bed, or before they take the television watching. They should meditate, and so that they also set the tone for the next day. In that way. So as for me, I always suggested to have this early in the morning, but if the people cannot do it, you can do it in the evening too. But if you can even do it, you can do morning and evening. So these people who meditate 2 times in a day, they made a shift very quickly. They make a quantum jump. So I have some people,
so more is more.
More is more.
All right.
Yeah.
So how does someone get started, right? There's a lot of apps out there now to help people get started. What are your feelings on those apps, and how do you suggest somebody, dip their toe, right?
So I would say starting with somewhere else is needed for everybody. So you should start it wherever you can start it. And, there are many apps, you can get it for free, and it is much better than you start on your own. So you should try yourself out everything. So I would suggest, I do not want to say that, they are the crap and you should not do that, because sometimes you have to test it out many things so that you understand and know that when you find the right methods, you feel it. And that is why I let the people meditate. There are many people who meditated before with transcendental meditation. Then they came to me and they find it, wow, that is what I needed, And there are some people who meditate with a YouTube video, and he said that, I'm good already. Why do I have to meditate and pay the extra money with the Nandar, right? And then after they make a couple of sessions, they feel the difference. They feel the depth of this knowledge. So in other words, meditation is not about learning the technique. It is about copying the energy of love, peace, and tranquility that somebody has already learned through their own practice. So it depends on the consciousness level of the teacher who created the apps, who created the YouTube video. It's affect your psyche. So that is why.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. Yeah. But it's true, right? It's like if this is coming from their awareness and their energy, then that's what you're going to be taking. So that's fascinating.
That is why I will be going now in November to Singapore and also Malaysia and Myanmar especially, where my master are there. I always go and meditate with them 1 time in a year. So I stay with them in the monastery. So sometimes 7 days, sometimes 10 days, and I meditate and I copy their energy of peace and wisdom. And so that I can also teach the wisdom back here.
Amazing. So if someone wants a meditation coach, right? And I know for me, it's the accountability.
Yes.
Right. And like I said, and you guys know, I suppose my version of meditation is my workout.
Yeah.
Right. But I do think there's something to be gained for, your methodology. So let's say somebody does want, a meditation coach, and, how does somebody find someone like you near them? Right. And how do we know how to choose a meditation coach if somebody, does have options? Like what are we looking for in their experience or their background? Like how are people set apart in this field?
You just have to meditate with them. So if you wanted to know if the one restaurant is good for you or not, you have to eat it, right? Then okay, I love it and I hate it, whatever. It is the same. So you have to meditate with the meditation teacher at least once, and then you feel it if he or she is for you or not. And even it might be for you for some time, and then you have to change it too, because we're not wearing our teenagers' clothes all the time, and we also change our how do you call it, the place or anything we changed. That is why you just have to test it out. So and as anything in life, you have to take risk.
Right.
Otherwise you won't get the result. And you just start it with somewhere else where you can, with apps or with any meditation teacher. So of course I will be loving to have you as my coach, my coachee.
Yeah.
And I will also be doing some online program next year.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, is it the same working remotely with someone versus in person? You know, is there a drawback? Like if somebody, you know, they don't have access to someone locally, maybe, you know, how is it different?
It depends on, I mean, if it's something like internet, you know, if you have a source, you have the same downloading, you know,
Right.
information the same for you too. But if you are, if you can relate more to that person and also open to it and believe to that teaching, then you receive more than that you are just, okay, downloading the information, right? And it depends on your belief and trust first, also, and relatable to the teacher. It is much more important than, I mean, that you are in the same room with teacher or not. Because I still have my mentor, she is now staying in Malaysia, but I always talk with her, and I also listen to her podcast or, you know, teaching every day. So I have a strong connection with her. I believe her, I trust her, so everything she teach, I can really learn that from her. It is
Right.
also the same. So you just have to find it the one who you believe and trust. It is not about the distance. It is
Right.
about how much you trust and believe.
Got it. And so, how much should this cost? Right? Like, how do we,
Okay.
because I think, you know, people are all over, and certainly
Sure.
geography plays an impact in that. But I know, you know, nobody wants to be taken to the cleaners, right?
Of course, yeah.
So is there a range, or how do we know what's reasonable when working with someone?
Yeah, in the case of working with me one-to-one, so I'm a kind of like, I mean, I'm not a kind of a, but I'm a life coach in the approach of spirituality. So when the
Okay.
people work with me as a life coach, they have a certain goal or certain problems they want to solve. And in after the life coaching section, and they will be having one affirmation or to-do plans or whatever. So instead of giving them the affirmation or to-do plan, in my cases, I give them this 15 minutes meditation.
Got
Which
it.
I recorded for them. So in that case, they find the difference, and also they will also achieve their goals and they solve their problems. So that's why I take the life coach rate. You know,
Okay.
I myself is the one who is one of the life coach. Generally, it's the 200 is the general classes of the life coach plus. And so I also take 80 per hour. So then if they have a package, you know, I
Yep.
have the different rate also.
Got it. And then has there ever been, you know, somebody that you weren't able to help, or what was the most challenging case? I know you've worked with kids as young as 4. So
Yeah.
like, what's the most challenging?
The most challenging is that sometimes the people do not really get what I'm tackling to them or trying to, I mean, what I'm teaching to them is the spiritual principle, how to solve their problems in the spiritual principle. So sometimes the people are not yet ready or conscious, open enough to learn something new. Then is that you feel like, okay, we are not connecting each other that much and deeper level. So then I also know that that person is not yet ready to learn the spiritual principle. Then I go back to the normal things, what is important for them, right? And so I always have to, although it is the same program or same meditation that I can teach to them till they get to the freedom of mind and body, but sometimes some people need more time, and they also have to do some different experiences in their life. So in that case, I always, adjust it to their own needs.
So in that case, right, like being ready and open, is it easier with younger kids than adults who maybe, are so set in their ways, or is it harder to have, younger kids kind of sit and focus and learn this mental control, so to speak?
Yeah. In my case, is that young kids that I teach is also not very much regular or weekly. What I taught back in Germany was I went to that, kind of children association, and I meditate with them like every Wednesday. But the children are also not there. But as for me, in the meditation, I teach them how it's their mind and body correlated each other, and they can concentrate on them. So in with the children, cannot really explain between the mind, body, and spirit correlation or their life. I'll give them some other kind of concentration exercise. But interestingly enough, when I teach that methods, the children learn and quickly, and they also feel the difference, and they are also very happy. But they do not yet know what is this, But as for me, I taught them because whatever I implanted to them, the seed of soul, or the soul of light. I mean, any seed of light. I mean, that has a potential to grow in the future. That is why I taught them.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So before we shift to some off-topic questions that we ask everybody who visits us, is there anything else that you think people really need to know or understand about meditation that we haven't covered?
I will say that meditation is more than a relaxing exercise. And a lot of people think that they just turn on the music and listen and relax, and they think that they are meditating. Meditating is more of developing your emotional and mental part, which a lot of people do not relate to it. A lot of people think that this is my body and this is my life. But we are more than our body. We have to take care of our emotion. We have to take care of our thoughts. If we do not do that, we have all these mental diseases and depression come from that because we do not relate to that part. So I would say meditation, we are now needing meditation more than ever because we are associating our life with how we look too much through social medias and everything. That is why we have to learn this emotional intelligence and also this mental strength through meditation.
That's beautiful. Amazing.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you. All right. So we have a couple questions that we ask everybody who visits us that are, not focused on your area of expertise. So what's the best thing you've done for your health this week, and what's the naughtiest thing you've done for your health this week?
Okay, that's easy. So what is the best thing that I've done for my health is I let go of all the meats, fish, and all sugar, which is not good for my body.
Oh, yeah.
So I've now done that a little bit more than 2 weeks now, and I really feel the shift of my energy. I also left every meat in 2018, and at the end of the year, we have a sugar free challenge. Yeah. Then I go back to eating meat. Right now, that's why I let go of all the meats because this is a good one. The naughtiest thing what I do for my health. It is difficult. What is naughtiest thing? What could I say? And
or an indulgence.
Indulgence. Yeah, I just took coffee back again. Okay. Maybe I would say because I don't normally drink coffee, but now I drink coffee back again. I think we need any kind of drugs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Stimulants.
Right? You're right.
If you weren't a meditation coach, or a life coach, right? What would you be? Or what would you do?
I would be a teacher. I think. But it's a form of teacher too.
Yeah, sure.
And I want to really teach children about what is life like, and the children are very open-minded. I have my favorite niece, so she is very intelligent. I explain about the mind, body, and spirit, and energy, and how you can feel the surrounding with their skins, and so she learns everything so quickly. So I would be a kindergarten teacher.
Nice. What's your favorite book on any topic, or even fiction, except anything related to your specialty?
My favorite book, it's $1 Million Habits from Brian Tracy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That is things also which changed my life, and I learned. I read that book in 2004 when I was in Bangkok, when I lost all my money and in a scam. Then I wanted to come to America as a refugee, and then And then I gave money and I lost everything. But he told in the book that I must develop good habits. So I can, if I have good habits, I can build up my my life again. And so the first habit I learned from the book was writing down my goal every day.
Yes.
So since then, I built up my life again, and I also built up different good habits in my life. And so that is my favorite book.
Nice. If you could cure one ailment, disease, or sickness, what would it be?
Yeah, it would be the sickness of mental sickness. We all have arrogance or any kind of unconscious pattern of doing things. So I would cure the mind, because if we cure the mind, and we can cure the body too, because the body is the product of our mind. So I would cure that.
I love that. If you were a superhero, what would be your superpower?
Oh, that is, it will be like, it is easy. I wanted to always heal the world. And it was also my mantra of, when I did the firework in 2010, in 2011, I think, in Austria, I won the awards of championship, and I won the awards to travel to Austria, and we have this surprise ceremony walking on the fire. And then it's, oh my God, I become a champion. I have to walk on the fire. And then we have to prepare the whole day. And at the end of the day is like, you have to find one sentence so that it is the truth. And so that if you say the truth, you will be protected the whole body and you won't get burned. So when you have like, very important moment, the things coming out is that it's not about winning the awards next or becoming a millionaire where I wanted to be. And, then I comes out of that. I wanted to heal the world. I wanted to teach people. I wanted to do a lot of things to provoke the consciousness and so on. And I comes to know that. Then I took the sentence. I walked through the fire to heal the world. So it was my truth. And I say
so you are a superhero.
I was.
Is really the answer to this.
Yeah,
right,
it is. And then there is no fire get burned on my feet. I walked 2 times even. And
Wow.
so that is, then it will be my superhero power is I have the power, and with the winged, and I can heal anyone.
Amazing. All right. What's your biggest pet peeve?
What is pet peeve? Oh, okay. Pet peeve is something
Like that annoys you or frustrates you. Yeah.
It frustrates me. Maybe that my food addiction.
Right. Oh, for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, that I always overeat, and I indulge myself with different things. So
Okay.
that's my pet peeve. Yeah.
And in your opinion, what's the next frontier in wellness?
Yeah, I think now a lot of people are working on the meditations, mindfulness. It is the frontier. And a lot of people are waking up, and they know that they have to do it, because they know that in 2025, and every second teenager have a risk to take a suicide attempt. So we have to do something else for our kids and for our people too. And they say that the first risk factor and the highest rate of death between 14 and 35 is suicide.
Wow.
It is in America. And so that is why in 2017 alone, there are every 14 hours, 1 people die of suicide in America. So there are 14 million people who try to take suicide in 2017 alone, but they do not die. It's mean that the people are looking for solution, awareness, and because now everything is fine, we have everything and what we need to eat and everything, but this emotional intelligence and mental intelligence, we are needed at them ever. That's why we have to take care of our mind in any form.
Well, I'm so glad you're here for that reason and many others. So, Nandar, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Tell everybody how to find you, your website, social media, all the things.
Yes, I have my social media account on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram, I was not active at all, but in with my name, Nandar Matari, you can find the Facebook fan page and on Facebook. And I also do Facebook Live regularly there. And the people can find me on my website. That is Matari, my last name, Matari, and meditations with S at the end. .com. So from there, you will see that I also give classes in the corporations, in the company, and also individual classes. And I'm also will be changing my website very soon and to train the trainer to train other people to become a meditation teacher in the future.
Awesome.
So.
Pay it forward. Right?
Yeah,
I love it. Well, thank you again for being here. Guys, you know me. I'm your host, Jen Trepeck. Find me on Instagram at Jen Trepeck, JenNNTrepeck. You can also check out our website, saladwithasideoffriespodcast.com. And that's it for this week. We'll see you next week. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jen, for having me today. Thank you.
Well, friends, that's it for today's episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. Congratulations for making yourself and your health a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to click subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform. Share us with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Always remember, you deserve it, and you are worth it. Happy healthy.